Hey everyone, let's talk about something that I know is on a lot of our minds, especially as we get into our 40s, 50s, and beyond. It's that nagging worry about heart health. You feel a little something strange, maybe a weird ache, or you're just feeling super tired and your mind starts racing. But then you tell yourself, nah, it can't be anything serious. It doesn't feel like what you see in the movies. And that right there, that's the problem. We've all been taught to look for the wrong signs, and it's a dangerous misunderstanding. But I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to recognize the true, subtle signs of heart disease, so you can feel empowered to take action. All the information I'm sharing today is referenced from reputable sources, and I've put all the links in the description below for you, so let's get right into it. All right, first up, we gotta bust a huge myth. I'm talking about the Hollywood heart attack. You know the one. Some guy on screen suddenly clutches his chest, gasps for air, and dramatically collapses. That's what most of us think a heart attack looks like, right? Well, the reality is rarely that cinematic. Medical experts tell us that real-life symptoms are often mild, subtle, and can even build up slowly over hours or days. It's less of a sharp pain and more of an uncomfortable feeling like pressure, tightness, or squeezing. Some people even describe it as an elephant sitting on their chest. So we need to erase that Hollywood image from our minds and learn what to really look for. And that brings me to the first silent signal, which is probably the most overlooked one of all: extreme fatigue. Now, I'm not talking about the regular, I had a long week at work kind of tired. This is a deep, profound exhaustion that doesn't get better with rest. It's when simple things you do every day, like carrying in the groceries or even just folding a load of laundry, suddenly feel completely overwhelming. So what's the connection to your heart? Well, if your arteries are getting narrow, your heart has to work way, way harder to pump blood around your body. That extra strain drains all your energy. It's so easy to just blame this on aging or stress, but it's a huge warning sign, and this is especially true for women. This kind of unusual extreme fatigue can show up weeks before a heart attack. So if you're feeling a bone-deep tiredness you just can't shake, please don't just brush it off as being busy. Okay, so now that we've covered fatigue, let's talk about the second silent signal: discomfort in your jaw, neck, back, or shoulders. This one is tricky because it feels like something you'd go see a chiropractor for, not a cardiologist. It usually shows up as a dull ache, tightness, or pressure, not a sharp pain. You might feel it in your jaw, your neck, or especially in your upper back, right between the shoulder blades. So, why does this happen? It's something called referred pain. The nerves that send distress signals from your heart share pathways with nerves from these other areas. Your brain basically gets its wires crossed and thinks the pain is coming from your back or your jaw, when it's actually your heart crying out for help. It's so easy to mistake this for a pulled muscle or even a toothache. And again, for women, this is a big one. While men might feel that classic pain down the left arm, women are much more likely to have pain in their back, neck, or jaw. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share next is something that gets mistaken for a totally different health issue all the time. The third silent signal is shortness of breath, when you're not really exerting yourself. I mean, feeling winded after walking up a single flight of stairs, or even when you're just sitting and resting. The scary part is that it can happen without any chest discomfort at all, which makes it harder to connect to your heart. Here's the deal: your heart and lungs work as a team. If your heart isn't pumping blood efficiently, that blood can back up into the vessels in your lungs, which makes it physically hard to breathe. We often just rationalize this away, right? We think, oh, I'm just out of shape. Or maybe this is just anxiety. But for many women, shortness of breath can be the one and only symptom of a heart attack. It's a crucial sign you can't afford to ignore. Moving on to our fourth sign, and this one is a real imposter: indigestion, nausea, and stomach discomfort. This can feel exactly like a bad case of heartburn, the flu, or even food poisoning. We're talking a burning feeling in your chest or stomach, intense nausea, or just a feeling of pressure in your abdomen. The heart's lower wall sits really close to your stomach and esophagus, and the same nerve helps regulate both your heart and your digestion. When your heart is in distress, it can trigger all these stomach symptoms. I think this is one of the most dangerous mimics because our first instinct is to just grab an antacid. If the feeling goes away, we assume the problem was just digestive. But here's a critical clue. If your heartburn seems to be triggered by physical effort and comes with shortness of breath, that's a massive red flag that it's not about what you ate. All right, that leads us to our fifth and final silent signal: dizziness, cold sweats, and a sudden sense of doom. This cluster of symptoms can come out of absolutely nowhere. You might suddenly feel dizzy or lightheaded, like you're about to faint. Or you could break out in a cold, clammy sweat even when you're not hot or doing anything active. The dizziness happens because your struggling heart just can't get enough oxygen-rich blood up to your brain. The cold sweat is your body's fight-or-flight stress response kicking in. And then there's this other part, an overwhelming and unexplained feeling of anxiety or a sense of impending doom. It's a recognized psychological symptom that can happen during a heart attack. It's so easy to blame these on dehydration, low blood sugar, or a panic attack, but when they happen together, it's your body's alarm system blaring at full volume. Now, knowing all these signs is one thing, but acting on them is another. There's this huge psychological barrier we put up. We're afraid of being wrong. We worry about calling 911 and rushing to the ER only to be told it was just indigestion. It's this fear of being seen as an overreactor that causes us to do this dangerous, watchful waiting at home. Or we just deny it. We blame the back pain on yard work or the chest pressure on that spicy dinner. It's a defense mechanism, but it's a risky one. And here's why that delay is so critical. In cardiology, they have a saying, time is muscle. It means that for every minute that passes during a heart attack, more of your heart muscle is literally being starved of oxygen and dying, and that damage is permanent. It's gone forever. Delaying treatment, even for a short time, can be the difference between a full recovery and a life of chronic illness like heart failure. So, what's the quick win here? What's the one simple action you can take? It's this: trust your gut. The single most important rule is, when in doubt, check it out. If something just feels off or new, even if it's vague, it deserves to be checked out by a professional. Emergency room doctors will always tell you they would much rather you come in for a false alarm than stay home and risk permanent damage to your heart. And please do not drive yourself to the hospital. Call 911. Paramedics can start life-saving treatment the second they get to you, care you can't get in the car. Plus, symptoms can get worse very suddenly, and the last place you want to be is behind the wheel if you lose consciousness. So, to wrap things up, first, forget the Hollywood heart attack. Real symptoms are often subtle and quiet. Second, learn to listen for your body's whispers. Extreme fatigue, odd pains in the jaw or back, shortness of breath, stomach issues, or sudden dizziness. Third, remember that time is muscle. Every single minute counts. And finally, trust your instincts. It is always, always better to be safe than sorry. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Out of these 5 silent signs, was there one that particularly surprised you or that you've maybe experienced and dismissed before? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe for more content to help you take control of your health. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.